always seem to get the time wrong. Time wrong, I blow up and then they're all gone, all gone. So sick of saying hold on, hold on. A broken state, shaking the ground beneath, running from everything, seems to be the path I lead. And now I'm beating on the floor, wondering why I feel like a ticking time bomb. Time bomb, always seem to get the time wrong. Time wrong, I blow up and then they're all gone, all gone. So sick of saying hold on, hold on. I took a shot on hoping I never change. I wonder why I'm always broken. Stuck in time just like I'm frozen, frozen. Now I'm slowly thinking, a product of overthinking again. Hold it in and change my breathing. Settle down and stop repeating amends. I feel like a ticking time bomb. Time bomb, always seem to get the time wrong. Time wrong, I blow up and then they're all gone, all gone. So sick of saying hold on, hold on. I feel like a ticking time bomb.
Hello, guys. Welcome to another installment of Touchline Talk with your boy, LNobbins. Are we live? I'm such a good streamer, guys. I can't even tell if we're live right now. I feel like we are. You guys are saying hello, so I'm going to assume we are. I know I'd like to put a test stream up in the background just so I can double check. Mine's not working right now, but you guys seem to be able to hear me, so that's fine. Hello, guys. Welcome. Leave a like on the video as you're coming in. Just a PSA, public service announcement. I've mentioned this before. There will not be a watch-along for the Aston Villa game. There will be a post-mortem, though. I'll repeat. There will not be a watch-along. It's my dad's birthday, so I won't be in Manchester. But we will be back in time for a post-mortem. So that is just an FYI to you guys, because I know people are asking, is there going to be a watch-along? No, there isn't, but there will be a post-mortem. In today's exciting installment of the Touchline Talk, we're going to be discussing the Villarreal game, because we don't do post-mortems for the league phase game, so we'll be touching on the Villarreal game. What did we learn from it? What's the interesting feature of that game? It's in the title. We'll also be looking ahead to the Aston Villa game. Also, there is a tactical preview that is going to be released after this stream ends, around 30 minutes after this stream ends, so stay tuned for that. I've recorded it. I didn't really have to edit it because I did it all in one take because I'm such a professional. Yeah, 19 minutes of just Nobbins yapping away in one take. So there will be a tactical preview of that as well. Suffice to say, this is going to be a very challenging game for City. Unfortunately, Villa have hit some very good form at the worst possible time, and conversely, City are facing an injury situation at the worst possible time. Also, we know that Nico Gonzalez, who's been so important for City this season, unfortunately got injured. So it is an upsetting time had by all. Where's your content about sourcing raw milk and sticks? I saw apparently Haaland's released a YouTube video. It's only a matter of time before, you know, we have a little cheeky collab, no doubt, I'm sure. They did just lose to Go Ahead Eagles, but did you see their team? Did you see what team they put out? With respect, that is not going to be the team that plays us on any level. I feel like the chat has moved again. What is going on here? I just moved the chat. Can that stop happening? Thank you. There we go. Let me move that down. Just briefly, we're just doing some on-screen edits because you love to see it. There we go. Yeah, if I have a look at their team. Look, some of their players will, but Mings won't start. Lindelof played at right back. He's not playing. Matson played at left back. He ain't playing. Sancho started. He ain't playing. Buendia started. He ain't playing. Bogarde started. He ain't playing. So at least half of their team against Go Ahead Eagles ain't actually going to play. We will see Cash. We will see Kamara. We will see Rodgers. We will see McGinn. We will see Konsa. We may well see Marlon. But that is not the team that we should be looking at. The Go Ahead Eagles. That is a massive red herring if ever I did see one. That is a lineup that has rotated to play against City on the weekend. Essentially, that is the team. Really, go look at the Spurs lineup, and that is the team that we should probably be having a look at, where they did play Kamara, Rodgers, Marlon, Onana, McGinn, Digne, Cash, Konsa, Torres. That's going to be the team. So, not sure we can put much stock, if any stock, into that Go Ahead Eagles game. To be honest with you. But let's get into the stream. Yes, Rafi, if you just joined, I said a few minutes ago, yes, I've recorded the video. It's edited. It will be out 30 minutes after today's Touchline talk. But how is everyone doing today? Let's get into the Villarreal game and the Stone and how bloody good John Stone is, and then we'll talk about Villa after. How are we all doing? Yeah, Holland is a YouTuber now. What is that all about? Wait, who's slandering Nico G? Hello? Name them. Name them. Who is slandering Nico G? Hello? Name them. Little swines. How dare you? Leave Nico alone. He's a good lad. He's a good little lad. Treble talk's a bit mad. It's not treble talk, but it was the treble winning system that we played against Villarreal, definitely. So that's the cause for the title of the stream. Holland on YouTube, yeah, we'd love to see that. Hello, unofficial Martin. Hello. More life to Papa Nobbins, definitely. I don't think Nico will play. He said he was 50-50, didn't he? Pep, basically. How do you create graphics like the Dom video? I made that myself, Callum. They lost no boys, but again, look at their lineup. Irrelevant, I would say. My goat dropped a YouTube video of Zero talk about football. What a guy. Having PTSD thing about COVID in midfield. Here's the frustrating thing. Rodri has not played at Villa Park since 2022. He obviously missed last year because of an ACL. And he missed the season before that because of the suspension. He hasn't played there since 2022. And it's going to be another game where he doesn't play. In arguably the most Rodri-coded game like that we absolutely need him for. He's missing it for a third bloody game in a row. It's very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. Chat wants to watch along from the car ride home. Shut up. I will be watching it in the car, but obviously there won't be a watch along. Well, maybe they... I mean, to be honest, the lineup they put out still should have been beating them, shouldn't they? So maybe they thought about it like that. Yes, that will be released later today. Definitely playing the strongest 11, 100%. The treble is back, says Evan. He could still play, but he also could not play. He could play, he could also not play. I'm doing very well, Austin. Thank you for asking. When we begin the Earl Bins collab. Yeah, that's insane. I don't know. I thought we wiped out those people. McAtee's got back to playing in a handball team. Poor McAtee, man. Definitely not in 2025. I'll be very real. Like, Cover is not it anymore. Right. Let's talk about Villarreal first of all before we get into Villa. Two teams with Villa in their name. Villarreal, the Spanish Aston Villa? ? Should we be calling them Aston Villa? No, we shouldn't. No, we shouldn't be doing that at all. it's going to be a massively changed side from the team that we saw against Villarreal for City. You would assume. I'd be staggered if Lewis started. I'd be I'd be very surprised if O'Reilly didn't come back into the side. And to be fair, maybe it won't be as rotated as I think. The midfield will be massively different because I don't even think that Nico is going to be able to play, and definitely won't be Lewis either. If it is, I'll be very, very surprised and a bit confused and a bit concerned also. Stones looks amazing. He looked amazing against Villarreal. On ball, off ball. Something I go into more detail in the tactical preview. However, given the fact that Rodri's definitely out, given the idea that Nico might be out because Pep's been he's holding his cards to his chest. He's not really revealing too much right now, is he? But there is a big world in which Stones actually does end up starting against Aston Villa in the midfield. So it's very apt and very convenient that he had a very good game against Villarreal. Now, it was Treble City against Villarreal, so it was the back four that you would expect, and then Stones pushed into midfield to play basically right central midfield or right defensive midfield alongside Nico Gonzalez, and he looked absolutely beautiful and fluid and lovely. If we can keep John Stones fit, then there is absolutely a world where he gets into City's best starting 11 100%, because City just looks so much more assured on ball when he is on the pitch, and we know that if there has been a weakness that City have had this season, it has been that security in deeper phases. Thankfully, Villarreal didn't properly push us until, I'm going to say, around the 60th minute. They were so tepid and nervous off ball in that first 45 minutes, certainly to the early parts of the second half as well. It's something that we chatted about in the stream beforehand, that the Villarreal were going to play like that. But we know that if you are not brave against City this season, then you're not really doing the best to exploit us. You're not exploiting a big weakness, and that is an area that Aston Villa might want to target. So Villarreal were not really as much of a threat as I made them out to be, because they played way more passive than I thought they were going to do. So I get that's how they have played a lot this season, but goodness me, you have to try to exploit City where you can, and they still did not bother to do that. So yeah, John Stones was massive in that. What we also saw was a really impressive performance by Savio. Now, why does Savio play so well? And why did Doku perhaps play a little bit lackluster? This was something that I retweeted. It is something that we have touched on many times, because people have asked a lot. They've been asking either themselves or asking others, why was Doku looking so good for that particular period? And I think it's a similar thing with why Savio did look really good against Villarreal. And it all comes down to support, and it all comes down to the environment around the player. Because if you're asking a player to just every single time they come forward with the ball, and Handleship's just outlined it there, if you're asking them to single-handedly beat the entire defensive unit all on their own, whether that's a one-on-one or even a two-on-one, and certainly a three-on-one, as was the case, and you're not providing him with enough support, then you're asking for trouble. There are still, worlds where Doku can beat 3-on-1. I've seen him do it. He can beat 2-on-1. He can certainly do 1-on-1, but it's not something that it's not reasonable to expect the player to even beat the opposition 1v1 every single time, because probability tells you that more often than not, you're going to lose the ball more so in a 1v1 than you're going to win it. I don't know. I'm going to check myself here. I believe that if you have a 1v1 win rate of just under 50%, you're in the top 1%, or maybe it's just over 50%. You're in the top 1% of 1v1 take-ons. Let me double check that. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is, even if it's a 1v1, it shouldn't ever be a guarantee that you always beat your man every single time, because it's very hard to do that. So let me just see what is Doku's success rate, because he is one of, if not the best in Europe at doing that. Where's it going to be? It should be in possession. There, right? Okay. Oh, interesting. So He's not actually as high, so he's dropped off a little bit. So he's in the top 84%, and he's at 50% successful take-ons. This is also comparing last year. So what about someone who's in the absolute highest? That'd be interesting to know. It's like for comparison's sake. If you're in the, I want to know if you're in the top 1%, what does that mean you're doing as a take-on? Like, how often are you beating your man? Here we go, yeah. If you're in the top 1%, you are beating, that means you are successfully taking on your man 57% of the time, which is better than 50%, but it's still very close to 50%. So even if you are in the top 1% of 1v1 dribblers, that still means that more than 4 out of 10 times, you're losing the ball. So that's, even if you're just the best of the best of the best of the best, that's usually going to be in 1v1s. Now imagine, so that's the context of how tricky it is to beat your man 1v1, even if you're a fantastic dribbler. Now pretend there's another player there you're being doubled up on, and now imagine that you're being tripled up on as well. And that's what has been happening with Doku. That's not to say that his dribbling was good enough, by the way, against Villarreal. I felt that there were times he could have done better. As with Everton, he should be beating Njai more than he was. So I'm not trying to absolutely excuse him, but I'm trying to paint a picture of how can you best utilize these threats. And I feel that when Savio has played a lot this season, he's not been getting enough support. Whether it's from the right back in Nunes, it's something that I touched on in what was the game? A Burnley game in that tactical analysis. I felt that Nunes should have been helping him a bit more. If Nunes isn't going to help him, and it seems more and more that Nunes is being more used as a centre back, then that burden surely has to now fall on the right central midfielder. And that has been Reinders for the vast majority of the games where Savio's been playing at right wing. And I don't think that Reinders has been providing Savio with enough underlapping support. Now, he was doing it for Bob in the Wolves game, and that's why Bob looked so good and Reinders looked so good, and they combined very well. But if Savio's not getting that support, now Savio, who is not as good at Doku as 1v1 dribbling directly, standing up his man, he's now put into a really tricky situation. So I don't think it's a coincidence that Rico Lewis, who is fantastic at those underlapping runs, he provides them to Savio, he provides that requisite support. All of a sudden, Savio looks amazing. And that is ultimately how that first goal was scored. It's Savio on the ball, Lewis makes an underlapping run. It's pretty simple stuff. But if you don't make the run for the winger, then they don't have the passing option. So it's a very tricky situation, isn't it? So we need our wide players to be supplemented with the correct level of support. Now, you can't always give both sides equally brilliant support every single time, because sometimes you have to almost sacrifice yourself to allow the other sides to be overloaded, if that makes sense. So sometimes you have to do that. So sometimes there might be a sacrificial lamb case where, Doku holds the width, he's dragged over there, and then we're overloading the other sides with Savio and the underlapping option of Rico Lewis or Reinders or whoever that may be. So it's tricky to accommodate both sides. So there may be games where only one of them is able to have this good game, only one of them is able to have that proper adequate support if the opposition do desire to double up on or triple up on one of our wingers. But that's just something interesting to note. And it's just, again, it's the theme of this season for me has been trying to reiterate, trying to defend Doku, trying to defend Savio or Bob or whoever it may be playing out wide, is their performances, of course, can be criticised, no one's saying that, but they do have to be viewed through a fair lens of, are they getting adequate support? And I don't think it's a coincidence that in games where Doku's not been particularly good, it's been a game where he's not been getting that much support. With Savio, if he's not been playing very well, it's a game where he's not been getting much support. And the same is converse. Where Savio has been getting that help, he's been brilliant. Man of the match for me against Villarreal. Don't know who you guys thought man of the match was. Maybe Nunes? Let me know. For me, it was Savio. As with Doku, particularly with Nico O'Reilly providing that support. Just wanted to provide some context as to why Savio was able to play so well against Villarreal. And long may that continue, because for me, he was the man of the match, and he was absolutely lovely. For me, it was Savio. I absolutely hear the calls for Nunes, though, as well. Godry, 100%, because he has been... Since that penalty... I want to say since that penalty error against Brighton, he's been really, really good, hasn't he? Since that stupid error, he's been fantastic. So that's been really, really wonderful to see. Danny Boyle, an interesting question. If we're talking treble tactics, can you see Joshko stepping up rather than Stones? See, I'm staggered that we haven't yet seen that. We've only half seen it. We've seen it where Gavardio's gone to the left side of a diamond, but we've never seen it where Gavardio's played in like as a pure defensive midfield line. We've never seen that, and that is frustrating and confusing. I don't know why we've not seen it, because I would love to see it be experimented with, because technically that would be an even better usage of the system, because if you have Stones and Rodri or Stones and Nico doing it, then you've got two right footers, whereas if you've got Gavardio on the left and Rodri on the right, you've got a left footer on the left and right footer on the right. So it's actually even nicer from a symmetry POV. Just haven't seen it, and I don't really get why we haven't seen it as much, or at least attempted. At least attempted, because I really think that Joshko can do it. I'm pretty sure he can. I'm very confident of that, but who knows? Maybe... Oh, well, clearly Pep's got different ideas, or maybe he doesn't believe that he can. I'm not sure, but I would love to see that at some point. I would love to see that at some point, definitely. Certainly in like a post-Stones world. Definitely. Now, I don't know if we're going to see the treble system consistently for the rest of the season, even if we assume Stones is fit, because if Stones gets injured, then it's irrelevant, and we can't do that. Even if Stones becomes fit, it's so hard. It's so hard to predict. Was that just a one-off to get like that box midfield against Villarreal? Was he just experimenting for vibes? Or is there more to it than that? Are we going to see, when our players come back to full fitness and it becomes more of an available option with the defensive midfield situation, are we going to see Stones and that treble system reintegrated into City? Because the only reason it was initially abandoned was because Stones got injured. And he tried it with Akanji, and it worked to a degree. Akanji did a fine job there, but he's not John Stones. He's no John Stones, obviously. So I wonder whether... Again, as Musty says, was it just a vibes throwback, or was there more to it than that? I don't actually know, and we never know with Pep, because at the start of the season, he was so adamant, clearly, it was this 2-3, 2-3, 2-3, so all of my tactical previews were like, well, Pep clearly keeps on doing the 2-3. He played Ake in a bizarre role he's never played before to make sure he stuck with that, and then next week he just abandons it, and we haven't seen that 2-3 since, and now it's all about the 3-1, or a 3-4. So I don't even know. I don't even know what is going on in Pep's head. It may have just been like a vibes, oh, let's just do it for fun, but I don't even know. Until I get more evidence of it, I'm going to assume that it was just like a vibes. It was just a vibes situation by Guardiola. But it will be maybe after like the international break, when hopefully everyone's fully fit, then that would be really, really fun. Does Pep even know? Ask him. Yeah, I'll give him a call. I'll give him a call. Yeah, I'll do that. Interesting. It would be an interesting one, but it would mean dropping Diaz. I think if we just if we were to entertain the idea of it being an actual thing, it would involve probably dropping Diaz or Nunes, because you'd still want. Well, or O'Reilly, actually. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it, actually. O'Reilly would have to play as a left centre-back, wouldn't he? Because Stones pushes up. So the three defenders you pick would all have to be in the back line. They'd all have to be comfortable playing as centre-backs, wouldn't they? It's not a system that lends itself easily to Aït-Nouri or O'Reilly. That's all I'm going to say, who have been our best left-back options. So I don't know. Actually, I think I've taught myself out of it. I actually don't think so. that it's going to be a long-term thing. Maybe it was just experimentation, Nintendo, yeah. Maybe it was just vibes. Hey, if Ake plays at left-back, that is perfect, to be fair. You're not wrong. You can have Ake left-back, Gvardiol left centre-back, and then Stones, or Diaz right centre-back, and then Stones right-back, or Nunez right-back. That works as well. Yeah, that's a very good point, Fenwiz. I think this is maybe the best summation of it all, that it is an option to have. And it's good to know that we can keep the opponent guessing. So we've played a 2-3 this year. We've played a 3-1. We've played a 3-2. We played a 2-2. That's at least 4 different formations that have happened. And even within those formations, the systems haven't necessarily been exact either. They haven't necessarily been overlapping. This 3-1 has been different to this 3-1. So at least 4 formations, each with at least one different system within them. That's good to know that tactical fluidity is back on the table for City, rather than it has to be this every single time, and even then it's a little bit stinky. We'll be on the false wing against Villa must. Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll have another one of those. Yeah, that's a very good point, Fenway, I think, definitely. I just thought it'd be interesting to chat about Stones, and it goes to illustrate, and he's one of the most frustrating players because he sadly doesn't get the credit that he deserves. I don't think he ever will, because he can't get it because he's too injured too often. If he was this player who you knew was always going to play plus 30 games in the league, I seriously think he would be in the debates for like top 3 centre-back in the Premier League era. I do properly think that. Sadly, because he can do things that other defenders simply can't do. There's no one else who can do what he did against Real Madrid. There's no one who can do what he did in that treble year. But his unavailability is too consistent. And for that reason, he can't really be considered in the all-time greats, which is a shame because I think his talent does deserve it. That was just briefly on Villarreal. Shall we briefly also look ahead to Aston Villa and how we think we might play, how we think they might play also. Before we do that, let me just catch up on the chat and see how we are doing. I'd start Cherki, says EA. I'm not sure this is the game to be starting Cherki, given how physical Villa are. Is this the game, and how tricky this game's going to be? Is it the game to start Cherki? I really don't think so. I'd be staggered. I would be staggered if Cherki started. Stranger things have happened, but if he starts, I will be really, really shocked. I'll be amazed if he starts. Who's that? Gvardiol has improved a lot, definitely. He can play anywhere on the pitch. He is that good. I kept suggesting it, Austin, but it's not happened. So it goes to show what I know. Nothing. Is Yoshko or O'Reilly a better fit for the Stones role on the left? I think Yoshko, Fenway, because O'Reilly's looked uncomfortable whenever he's playing centrally centre. Does that make sense? Because even when he's inverted, it's more so like a left of centre vibe rather than even more central. So I'd punt for Yoshko because I just think Yoshko's cleaner on the ball. I do miss attacking Yoshko as well, yeah. Yeah, come on, guys. Let's get the likes up. Perhaps Phantom. Yeah, so we do have Ake, though, but you are right. Unless Gvardiol just plays at left centre-back. And then, but yeah. But you'd have to have O'Reilly, all right, Nori, comfortable as a centre-back off-ball. That's all, and that's not ideal, is it? It still exists, Clark. Thankfully, we didn't see it against Villarreal. We're only going to see it if the opponent actually engages us high up the pitch. And Villarreal didn't do that until it was too late, basically. So it is opposition dependent. If the other team backs off and doesn't even try, then we don't even have to worry about it as a problem, because basically we've won phase 1 by definition, because they're just allowing us to build up. So it does depend on the opponent. Aston Villa are not the most intense team. They are opposition dependent. They are tactically fluid in that sense. We have seen them push on to opponents, though. We have seen them force their opponent to go to their weaker ball side and build up. So if let's say that the goalkeeper is left-footed, Abanab, thank you so much for always supporting the channel with your gifted subs. Whoever got it, Danny Boy, say thank you to Abanab. I want W's in the chat for Abanab because gifting a membership is the most selfless act you can do on YouTube. So big up to Abanab for that. Danny Boy, say thank you, please. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Abanab, for being generous as always, you beautiful, beautiful man. Let me just like pop the Members Hall of Fame whilst I am doing that. Love that from you guys. What was I saying? Yes, so it's opposition dependent. So let's say that the goalkeeper is let's say the goalkeeper is right-footed, and let's also say that the opponent doesn't have a left centre-back. So their left-footed left centre-back, so their left centre-back is right-footed. What Villa will do is they will force you to go to your left side because the goalkeeper wants to pass to their right with his right foot, and that right-footed left centre-back doesn't want to receive it under pressure. So they're going to force you to do that. No, I'm just doing it because we got a lovely Abanab situation. So I just thought it'd be nice to throw the members on the screen because I like to do that sometimes. God, guys, there he is. There he is. Sometimes we do credits midway. I'm a cheeky guy. That's something to look out for also. That's something to look out for as well. Opposition bases limits. I think he might be right. Oh yeah, Pep is behind me, to be fair. You're not wrong. Hey, Danny boy. Love that from you, mate. Thank you for saying thank you. Yeah, definitely Fenway, I agree. Yeah, Pep went out for his winger system. Well, yeah, what's interesting is Stones actually played at right back that day, off ball, which is even more bizarre. He played at right back, and he went to right central midfield in a diamond. It's so funny. I guess in hindsight now, we look back on that game, but if City had lost that final, 100% everyone is talking about how Pep overthought that game. And I would argue he probably did. Because why would you... Because he changed the treble system in the last day of the season for seemingly no reason. And he got DeMarco up against John Stones. Now, thankfully, Stones was unbelievable and was able to deal with DeMarco. But that was just a crazy move by Pep to do that. I don't know why he did that, man. What's a false winger? So a false winger is when you have a more narrow player playing out wide. Let's say the best example is Foden when he won Player of the Year. So you'd have Foden out at technically right wing, off ball, but then the right back pushes up. And I'm not talking about overlapping fullbacks. I'm talking about fullback turns into winger from the start. He then turns into the right winger. The off-ball right winger now turns into a midfielder. So he's technically a winger, but he's not a winger. That's a false winger. You get me? I would not start Marmoush because he's only played 4 minutes. I would not, personally. Yes, they are a very narrow side, Godry. 100%. 100% they are. And that could be something to exploit for City. This is probably going to be a game that's going to be one for Villa through the centre, but one for City out wide. I really want us to target Digne and Cash. I want Savio up against Digne, Doku up against Cash. I want these 1v1s to be popping off. And we need to try to turn their strength into their weakness. Do you get me? Thoughts on City announcement of moving 500 seats to the South Stand? I've not seen this. How big is the South Stand that's being... Oh, no, wait. It's the North Stand that's being added to. We're moving 500 seats to the South Stand. Oh. How's that going to work? Where are they going to physically go? I don't know enough about that, Martin. 4-2-2. Do you 4-4-2? Just because it's very solid. It's a very solid off-ball structure. I would argue it probably is the most solid. It's what we used in the treble year, for example. Phillips is a false footballer. That's mad. I agree. Yeah, and sometimes you'll see Rodgers, who is a central player. He will just be he will technically be either at right wing or left wing, but he's naturally narrow. But Villa are able to make it work for them because of how transitional they are and how physical they are in those 1v1s. So they don't mind being bundled in the centre. It's not too much of a problem for them. So it actually does work to their benefit. So that's a thing. Wait, is Digne injured? I didn't even know that. Well, that renders my tactical preview meaningless. Yeah? Because I would talk about Digne in that. Yeah? Oh, dear. I probably do think Bernardo starts because he started every single big game we have had so far this season. Home against Napoli, away against Arsenal, away against Villarreal, away against Monaco. Bernardo has started in every single one of those games. I know he starts against Villarreal, so is he going to start back-to-back games? I don't know, but I have predicted Bernardo to start on Sunday based on that precedent and the fact that Pep even said it in his press conference that he feels that Aston Villa are one of the trickiest games that you can play at Villa Park. Even more so, given that we are going without Rodri again, and we may not even be able to play Nico Gonzalez also. So there may be a world where it's the correct call for Bernardo to start. Now, that introduces a bit of a dilemma because Foden has to play. If he doesn't play, I'm going to be very concerned. I'm going to be very concerned. And there's no way that Bernardo's going to be the out-and-out DM. So then it's a case of, do you place Bernardo right wing, in which case you're not really going to be attacking their fullbacks as much as you should be doing, and I've just outlined that should be how we target them. So it probably makes more sense for him to play in the centre. But then if you do that, then where's Reinders going? So there is a world where Reinders doesn't even start on Sunday because of all of that context. Perhaps. But he was rested against Villarreal. But he didn't look that good against Everton. And then Bernardo came on and looked very good. So I actually don't know. Is it going to be Bernardo or Reinders starting in the middle? It's surely got to be Foden. You would assume one of Nico or Kovacic or Stones in the more defensive area. But then I don't know who that other option is going to be. Will it be Bernardo more secure? Is it going to be Reinders? Is this the game you actually want to be starting him in? Because we know Villa are going to be very duel hungry and duel heavy and second ball heavy. And Reinders has not yet illustrated that he's that competent off ball yet. I think it will come with time. I saw it for Milan. It will come. But is it the game to be playing Reinders given that Villa are... They are that guy in that sense. They are that guy. So it's a shame, innit? Big up to you, Frankie. Yeah, let's get the likes up. Obviously, I want us to get to fucking 150. Yeah. Okay, okay, hear me out. I'm hearing you out. What do you have to say? The floor is yours. Let me... Oh. You can't... You've deleted your comment. Hello? No, I was going to hear you out. Hello? No, come back. Foden in the 6. This guy. All this yapped. Can you imagine Bernardo show up now? Oh, here we go, right. Oh, for God's sake. No, don't. Don't do it. Oh, surely not. Has Calvin been on... When was the last time... Was Calvin on the bench against Villarreal? I know you're only joking. Surely you're joking. But was he on the bench against... Loki, was he on the bench? I don't know. I can't even... I've been getting the benches horrendously wrong recently. Did we play on Tuesday? Yeah, we did. So we've had a decent amount of rest then, which is good. Was Calvin on the bench? Calvin Phillips was not even on the bench against Villarreal. That is crazy. We had 2 goalkeepers on the bench over... Wait, I don't even think Calvin Phillips is in the squad, actually. I don't even think he's in the Champions League squad, so that would make sense. That's crazy, though, isn't it? That is crazy. 2 goalkeepers on the bench with no room for Calvin. What a shame. What a shame. Yeah, he's not registered. He's in Miami. Thank you. Holland does have a YouTube channel. Definitely. What a boy. You're going to see Earl Bins. Earl Bins, as someone said earlier. It's going to happen. You heard it here first. Honestly, you heard it here first, for real. Remember Kova? I do. I don't want Kova starting. If it's a choice between Kovacic, who hasn't had a start for City this season, and I don't think's illustrated that he's going to be better for the role than Stones, or Stones is coming off a great game against Villarreal, I'm punting for John Stones. I never thought I'd say that. I never thought I would say that. And how funny. And is this... I don't think this is irony. I think this is... I think this is just serendipity. I don't think this is technically irony. Maybe someone can correct me on my lexicon usage there. But one of the main reasons why I was dead against John Stones playing in midfield off ball was because of that Aston Villa performance in 23-24. And now, at Villa Park, and now, against Aston Villa, I'm backing him to play in midfield off ball. I don't know what you call that, but there it is. How funny is that? How funny is that? It is, you know, it's very apt, isn't it? I don't think it's irony. I'm pretty sure it's serendipity, which is like a happy coincidence. But is that a happy coincidence? I think it's just a coincidence. I don't know. I feel like there's a term there. Come on. If you're writing a fucking GCSE essay for English language, what term have I used? Yeah? What term have I used? What literary device has been used there? That's your homework. Is it ironic? I don't know if it is. I don't know if that's the technical... Which version of irony would that be? Would it be is it situational? I'm a flip-flop. I don't know, though. I don't know. Oh, dear me. Is it a dramatic irony? Okay, fairs. There we go. Write an essay on that, guys, yeah? 500 words? Yeah? On what the hell is Nobbins talking about? We're going to take Lavia even when there's injuries? No. No. There's no point. There's no point. I think O'Reilly could cook in midfield. Maybe in the future, but right now I don't think so. Can I use AI? So long as you do it with the APA referencing standards, Matthew, absolutely you can. Absolutely you can, mate. Anderson's lovely. The names that keep cropping up are Morgan Gibbs-White, Anderson, and Wharton for City's next signing in the midfield. I don't think it's a coincidence that they're all homegrown because we know we have that as a thing. We know that's a thing. Actually, I think you'll find. Oh dear. Pep should stick with the team against Villarreal. I'm not sure. I think you got to get Foden in there. To be honest, I don't think I want Lewis starting in that midfield either. Has to be Wharton, you say? He's going to be so in demand, isn't he? He's going to be so... I mean, they're all going to be in demand, I suspect. You know what I mean? Come on, Clark. Of course, mate. You got to go to uni to become a solicitor. Come on now. Come on now. Give me Wharton instead. That ship has sailed, Naveen. That ship has sailed. That ship sailed when we signed Reinders and Nico. I'm afraid, like it's we need to be looking in a different area now. Yeah, especially if Bernardo and Kova leave next season. You get me? Midfield, Bernardo, Rico against Villa is diabolical. Yeah, they are going to get destroyed by Onana, McGinn, Rodgers, Kamara. They would get vanquished. They would get absolutely vanquished for sure. Viana said the club are looking at pace and power. Says, sorry, is it 0 calories? Oh, lovely. I'll have one. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Nobbins. I've got I don't really drink Monster, but Mrs. Nobbins does, and she's just offered me a Monster Energy Ultra. And if you want to join the Ultras Club, like Abanab has, and how he gifted it to Danny Boy, then click that join button. The members link is in the every single video description to become an Ultra of the channel. Right, I'm going to do a taste test. We're going to rate it out of 10. A 2 p.m. is crazy. Does it have caffeine in it? It does have caffeine. Okay, so it is a caffeinated beverage. It's quite sweet. I do like my sweet treats. Gonna have another little sip. Yeah, it's nice. It's good. Mostly, I don't know. Look, I have Pepsi Max that has no caffeine in it. I don't know. Just God. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. I'm just going to double check. There's no calories, right? Oh, 11. Bastard. It doesn't matter. That plug is one of the plugs of all time. Thank you. And that is how good I am, guys. If there are any brands watching, look at how off the cuff that link was with a product, yeah? Look how off the cuff that link was. That was like my NordVPN sponsorships. I riffed that shit, yeah? I can riff stuff. If you are a company, send me free shit, yeah? And if it's good, maybe I'll plug it. If Monster are watching, look at that. Look at the seamless incorporation into the Nobbins brand. If we could all start a campaign to get McVitie's to sponsor this channel, because I want Hobnobs to sponsor this channel. Hobnobs, Nobbins, Hobnobbins. Come on. Come on, McVitie's. It makes sense. Anyway, let's get back to the football. What were we talking about? So I think it's, to be fair, I think it's partly ball carries, but it's also just physicality as well. That's also what it is. And look, we saw that last season, sorry. How many times did we say on this channel, oh my God, City lack physicality and athleticism and running power. It got so bad that I was backing Mateus Nunes to play in midfield. That was how bad it was getting last season. So I think that he saw the writing was on the wall, Pep, and he was like, right, this is the future for the team, the midfield. But sadly, we couldn't get Bellingham, we couldn't get Rice, we couldn't get Gibbs-White, we couldn't get Paquetá. I feel like there was another one in there we tried to get. We didn't get Bruno Guimaraes. Which did make the call for Ryan, that does make the Reinders signing a bit weird, because he's not really that sort of midfielder, but, you know, different approach, I don't know. Maybe that's what the next midfielder would be, though. I don't know, though. But Reinders does go counter to all of that, which does make the Reinders signing a bit confusing in that context. But I do like Reinders a lot, of course. But given the context of what the past situation was, a bit odd. This is why I didn't recommend Reinders in, like, Jan. Even though I looked at him, I thought he was lovely. I spoke to 18 Milan fans about him. He's a lovely player. But if we're after more like a physical option, I don't think Reinders is the sort of player to go for. But I'm very happy with the Reinders signing, if used correctly, of course. Then, so I prefer Ribena, personally. Prefer Ribena. Food tasting, yeah. That will become a members-only series. There'll be another exclusive members-only video, by the way, next week. Speaking of ultras. If you're not a member, you're missing out on exclusive content. If you are a member, go watch the exclusive content. Go watch the back catalogue. We're doing 2 uploads a month over there. Right now, I don't know. Right now, my preferred would be Wharton, but I will say that's just because I'm a big slut for Wharton, so I'm willing to be tempted the other way around. I don't mind, though. I don't mind. It was like my thoughts in the summer with goalkeepers. I have a list, but I don't really care which one it is. It's like with these midfielders, I wouldn't mind if it were Anderson or Wharton. I'm not fussed. It's whichever. It is whichever. Like the video, guys. Look at that. The Knob Boss said it, and Mini Nobbins said it. Okay, I wouldn't mind Gibbs-White either. It's just because he signed a new contract, and we know how mental Forest have been in the summer. What, like trying to get 90 million out of a player with a 60 million release clause. Naughty. So you get me. I don't mind membership level for a series where one of your Indian members takes Nobbins to Indian restaurants. I don't think I do very well there, Fenway. I don't do very well, but if you are a member though, if you upgrade to like the middle tier, you do get an extra video a month, just an FYI, if that is of interest to you, which I think is an extra £2 a month, if you so desire. Do we know the release clause? Let me know. I know I don't get lemon and herb. I get medium. I do like there to be some spice in there. Not overly spicy, but I do like some heat in my food. Okay, so we've touched on the Stones system against Villarreal. We've touched on how the wingers look better if they're given adequate support. We've touched on the unavailability of certain players against Aston Villa and how we think that might inform the team building. What else would we like to discuss today? We have like another 40 minutes or so, still plenty of time for us to talk about many things beyond just Monster and Haaland's honey. What else would we like to talk about? We're going to be doing Cork City FM when that's released, so make sure you're following the Twitch. That's going to be elite. I'm very excited to start that with Cork City. I've not played Football Manager in I feel like over a year, so I didn't get the most recent one, or the most recent one didn't release. There was still something. I haven't played it in a minute anyway. How much has Nico improved? O'Reilly or Gonzalez? Oh, I think that they've both started. They've both improved. Sorry, massively. O'Reilly was always defensively solid, but that's gone up a level. I think his understanding's also gone up a level, and his relationships with Doku has also gone up a massive level. Oh, it's about Nico G. He's also significantly improved as well. I mean, he was not being trusted, seemingly, last season towards the end. Like, where Pep was adamant it had to be Kova, Gundo, Bernardo. That was his tried and tested midfield. He just wanted solidity and tactical familiarity above all else. And it was very tricky for Nico to come in Jan in a flawed team to learn the role that is crucial to City in the most broken City side in however long, and the midfield is the bit that was broken. He was expected to come in and fix it. That was never going to happen, was it? It was going to improve, but he was never going to be able to fix it. So with like actual preseason / couple of cup, whatever, and time with Pep on the training ground, being coached, and we've all seen that, and it's very good. It's lovely that Pep's come out and said that he's a very coachable player, and he is taking on the advice. He's seemingly a malleable footballer, so it hasn't really surprised me that he has improved this much, given that, given the time that's been spent with Pep. So I'm very happy with Nico's improvements. Have never really, even last season, never really understood all the weird, unfair critiques of him. Very odd. Can't really name a game where he's been shit in. Every single game, I feel like he's been at least competent. Sometimes he's been good, sometimes he's been great. I think he's actually been solid for nearly every single game he has played in a position that isn't even his. They're in the top tier IDK, but they've only just been promoted. So they are a newly promoted side. So I believe they are probably the worst team in the Irish top division. But hey, we did a spinning wheel, and Shamrock Rovers came up as the first one, and you guys said do a respin, because that's boring, because they're the best team. So we respan, and it went from the best to the worst. So we let the spinning gods, the roulette gods, decide my fate, and here we are. And here we are. I'm definitely going to get a Cork City shirt, though, because there's like a retro style one, which looks really class. I saw a clip of a Chelsea fan comparing Foden's impact in the treble year to Callum Phillips. Right, well, there's no way he's serious about that. If he is serious about that, then that's a very moronic thing to say, given how excellent Foden was in the first half of that, and then how excellent he was in the actual final as well. So that's silly. Not a fan, Thunder Road. Pythagoras looking ass kit, honestly. Pythagoras looking ass kit. The left back situation. I think I'm going to predict O'Reilly to start. He was on the bench against Villarreal. Hopefully, I know he picked up an injury against Everton, but he was on the bench, so hopefully he'll be fine. You get me? I've watched enough Pep press conferences in the last 9 years. He's bullshitting, says Musty. Pep on Nico injury. I didn't see the doctors, and we'll see tomorrow. Today and tomorrow, how does he feel something with his feet? So what's your prediction, Musty? Do you think that he's not going to start, or do you think he is starting? Let me know. Yeah, that's crazy, Iron Man. That is wild. Pep waffles a lot. Yeah, you're not wrong. He's keeping the cards to his chest. You think he's fine? Okay. I hope he is. First couple of streams is going to be figuring out how to... Yeah, definitely, Fenway, definitely. It'll be fun, though. I'm sure once I get used to it, it'll be fine. Hopefully we don't see this against Villa, Trey, but Villa have done that sometimes. They did press Spurs like that at times, definitely. Do we know what our formation was in the last 5 minutes? The trouble with this, Clark, is that it's always hard to sort of like judge the last few minutes of a game that you've already won, basically. And you just make loads of changes for vibes. Now, technically, I don't think that the formation actually changed as to what it should have been. What should have happened was Shirky came on, and he was supposed to be playing left wing. However, because Shirky is Shirky, and this is both good and bad, it got to a point where Shirky was just going wherever he wanted. Now, again, that may just be because it's a vibes ending to the match, and it's irrelevant. But did you notice how, like, Rico Lewis was playing at left wing at times? Because he had to do that. Because Shirky wanted to float over to the centre and then wanted to float over to the right. So Rico had to go and fill in his position. Now, again, that might just be vibes, because it's the end of a game that you've won. In which case, fine. If not, then there is going to have to... I love the freedom that Shirky wants to play with, literally wants to go anywhere. That can cause confusion for the opponent. There has to be some sort of cap on it, though, to a degree, because you can't just have full reign in a Manchester City side. No one has that. Not even Kevin De Bruyne in his more floating role ever had that across like a full 90 minutes. So there is something that's going to have to be tempered to an extent in a full 90 minutes. And as Ichigo just says there, Pep gave him license, and that's fine, like the last 5 minutes, isn't it? Not a problem. Not a problem. We ain't going to see that for a full 90 minutes, though. Surely. And this is the philosophical debate between positionism and relationism. The purest form of the latter being Fluminense, who play very pretty football against us. But then the moment I always go back to is there was like a throw-in, a player plays a blind pass because he thinks his teammate's going to be there, but because they're playing vibes football, Alvarez just nicks in and scores. So it's about striking the balance, isn't it? It's a good question, though. Yes, I do believe that, yes. Yes. What did Pep say about Shirkino? I don't know him personally. I mean, he died thousands of years ago, to be fair. To be fair to me, he did die thousands of years ago. I thought Gavadio was lovely. That was lovely. We don't know, Ken Boy. We do not know. Nico's been class. I agree, Jason. Hey, who knows? Maybe he is a long-term Roderick replacement. We shall have to wait and see. Don't worry, Yanko. How you doing? Football Manager is out on the 4th of November. I have pre-ordered it and got 10% off. Why we're managing an Irish side? Because we asked the random roulette wheel. We had like 20 countries. We had like 20 European countries. And Ireland were one of them. And the wheel landed on Ireland. So we did them. We let the wheel decide our fate. Yeah, that's a beta in it, Toby. I want it to what's it? I want it to what's it? I want to be exposed to it live on stream, you know? I don't like coffee or tea, actually. He wants the ball when he doesn't have it. He needs a little bit of time because in football you learn to play with your teammates. These type of players are intelligent. They see everything. That's a good summation, yeah. And maybe it is that's telling that he's not really started often yet. I'm still amazed that he started against Spurs. I'm still staggered that he started against Spurs in the centre as well. That really shocked me. Yeah, pre-ordered it because I got some money off. It was like 10% off if you pre-ordered it. So hell yeah. Hell yeah. I went to What's It always, mate. Always. No, you're fine, GG. Don't worry. I didn't even see it get spammed. Yeah, hot chocolate is elite. I keep saying this, but Nico Gonzalez has had a better Nico Gonzalez has had a better debut season than Rodri did. That's all I'm going to say. So when people are hard on Nico and saying we should sell him, like it's the same thing I say with like Doku and Savio and all these players. Just like, don't forget that Rodri struggled in his first year also. I'm actually, scratch that. No, also, I don't think Nico struggled. So, you know. I'm counting this. I'm not counting, like, you know, him coming into Jan halfway through a season that's dead. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Toby, Zubimendi is natural 6 playing in 6. Nico is an 8 playing at 6. Don't you dare compare the two again, you little bastard. Yeah? You little swine head. Little swine. The wheel gave me an annoying league. Hey, the wheel has the final say. Yeah? The wheel has the final say. I'm a servant of the RNG. I'm a servant of the RNG. You get me? No, it's not Thunder Road. I want it to be active at some point, but I still haven't really figured out what it's gonna be. I would like to do something with the second channel, but right now the main channel is taking up so much of my time, so I don't know what it could be. If you have any thoughts, let me know. My original thought was maybe to do more sort of like video essays on the Nobbins channel, and then I've got another channel which is just called Nobbins that was going to be more like vibes, personal stuff. I don't know though. So it might well be nothing, but I'm still a baby on my main channel, LNobbins, so I want to get this one properly up there first of all, and then maybe we can do more focus on second and third. But right now, I'm still a baby. I'm still a baby channel, even on the main channel. You know, we're only just recently, we haven't even got a third of the way to my target yet, so you get me. Exactly, Fenway. Why have we signed 8 to play to 6? Okay, Toby, why do you think we've played an 8 to play to 6? Why do you reckon? In a team that has Rodri in it, why do you reckon? Yeah? Yeah? Riddle me that, little bastard. Oh, dear. Again, I'd like to do more vibes. I had an idea on, like, which is just, like, you know, the Nobbins channel, which is going to be like the more personal channel. My idea was to do dumb, like, video essays on movies and media. So, like, overanalyzing, like, why is Rowley so fat in 101 Dalmatians? That, you know, like that sort of, like, overanalyzing, like, Grandpa Joe, why is he actually the most evil character in cinematic history? Like, that sort of thing. I don't know if that would be, I feel like that might just be fun to do. That would just be like a vibes channel. I've always wanted to do something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, but not proper film theory, like bullshit film theory. Like, as I say, like, so I've done all the research on Dalmatians and how fat they should be in 101 Dalmatians. Like, there's no reason why this dog should be overweight. And is there a nefarious reason? And there is a reason why Lucky is to run to the litter. Is Rowley stealing Lucky's food in 101 Dalmatians? Overanalyzing? I think that'd be funny. I haven't committed to it, obviously. It's just an idea, but I think it might be cute to do. I don't know. No, but Toby, the point I'm making is that if you sign a pure... okay, let's say City signs... and this is why I was dead against Zubimendi. Lots of City fans wanted him. This is why I was dead against him. If Rodri is fit and available, and you would like to think that he will be as soon as possible, then Zubimendi ain't ever starting a game. If you're just signing a pure 6. So what you really should be signing is an 8-6. It's a 6-8 hybrid. An 8-2 can play as a 6. And that's what Nico is. So that's why That's the answer to your question of why that's a thing. Nico will take Ryan's place. It becomes undroppable when Rodri comes back, says Clark. They could definitely be vying for it 100%. Do you like that idea, though, Musty? Is that a fun idea? Pretentious? I think it's more fun than pretentious. Hello? Is that sarcastic, Clark? I feel like no one's tuning into why is Rolly obese. I feel like that would get like 12 views. Yeah. Exactly, Fenway. I think it would be funny. Like, it would be nothing at first, but it might be, you know, as you say, one of them might catch fire, and then it would just turn into bullshit comedy content. Musty, that's fair. Because I do like, some of my favourite channels are, like, Eddie Burback, Curtis Connor, like, just, like, really funny sort of, like, over-analysing in a comedic way sketch stuff, and that was what I originally did on YouTube. You know, it wasn't very good in respect to views, but you know, that was like my original videos. I didn't do football videos initially. I did stupid little skits and sketches and that sort of thing. And like, so I might want to go back to that at some point on a different channel. This will never end, obviously, but you know what I mean. Can That's a great idea. Yeah. That's crazy. Nico, Rodri, and that midfield double pivot teams will find it difficult to run through us. That is surely going to be a vibe. Because think about it. I'm still adamant, and I'm not backing down on this take, I'm still adamant that generally speaking, you'll see Nico play with Rodri more so than without him. Now, we've not yet seen whether that will actually happen, because this year, Rodri has been out all the time. So you can't do that, obviously. You can't afford to do that. You can't physically do that. But next season, let's assume that Rodri next season is now able to start the vast majority of league games, like over 30. There is surely no world in which Nico Gonzalez is starting single-digit games in the Premier League. Like, he's only playing when Rodri isn't. Surely not. Surely there has to be games where they're playing together. It just doesn't make any sense to me otherwise. Because unless Rodri's getting moved on sooner than we think, like if Rodri's not signing a contract extension, or if like Rodri is just washed, which I don't think he will be, but those are the only scenarios I can really see it happening. If Rodri just come back, surely that's got to be the vibe, hasn't it? The vibe. How do you feel about Anderson? We were chatting about him earlier, Smian. Definitely an option for City, particularly given the homegrownness. Leaning into Nobbins being pretentious and obsessed about totally superfluous subject is a good fit. I think it could be fun. It could be fun. Again, something really stupid. It doesn't even have to be anything to do with football, just something really dumb. As I say, I had the idea of over-analysing Rolly. Maybe like a deep dive into like what state is A Bug's Life set in? You know, it's set somewhere in the US, but like where? And like going, oh, well, the grasshoppers go to Mexico, so it must be on the border. You know, some bullshit like that. I don't know. Something funny. Something funny that I can just not take too seriously and just dick around with. My favorite videos on YouTube are videos like Game Theory. They have a video called, yeah, like stuff like that would be fun. I saw another one like what were cars doing in 1939, and it's like this guy's done like a 5-minute video on like car Hitler and car Winston Churchill and putting all these car puns in. They're just very funny. Oh, should we start that channel? Yeah, for real. Do Pokeballs kill Pokemon yet? Okay. We'll be live for another 20 minutes or so. Any other questions or topics we want? We've now, as you guys can tell, the format of these Touchline Talks is we normally, like the first hour or so, the first hour to like 1 hour 15, we chat about football. We are serious, but then like the last few minutes dissolve into whatever the hell we want to talk about. So now we're doing that, yeah. So if that's not your vibe, then you can obviously feel free to go. I appreciate people might not like that, but lots of people might like that. So it can be whatever. Obviously, football's still the key. How can we deal with Pep leaving since company renewed his contract? Right. Why are Bayern Munich fans getting so upset at the concept of one of our biggest club legends who literally has a statue leaving them to become managers? This is not the same as City fans getting upset and annoyed, rightly so, when Barca fans talk about, let's just go get Haaland. That is not the same. And I also don't think it's the same as when City fans say... No, sorry. I do think it's... No, I don't think it's the same as when some City fans say, just go get Elise, because I don't think it's as simple as that. If Guardiola had never managed Barcelona in his career, somehow... Let's say his first job was with Bayern, and then he went to City, and he'd never been to Barcelona. If Barcelona fans now in 2025 were saying Guardiola will manage us in the future, or he'll manage us after City, no City fan is going to get upset at that notion, because it's Guardiola. He was your captain. He won the Champions League with you in Johan Cruyff's dream team. No one's going to get upset about that. However, because there's a massive link there, it's not like there is zero connection between City and Vincent Kompany. I'm not being funny. If Pep Guardiola leaves in 2 years, 3 years, whatever, and the City higher up said to Kompany, we want you to be the Pep successor, I don't think it's arrogant for me to say that Kompany absolutely takes that on. There's no world for me in which Kompany doesn't accept that. And that's not an arrogant thing to say. The two are not the same. Haaland to Barca is not the same as Kompany coming to City. The club that he adores. His family are based in Manchester as well, aren't they? He has a statue outside of our ground. We love him. We still chant about him to this day. Abotia, this is in 2 more years. This is in like 2 more years, or perhaps even 3, who knows? I don't get why they're getting upset, or some of them are getting upset about the concept of Kompany doing that. Am I being arrogant there? Does anyone seriously think that Kompany would not bite the City higher-ups' hand off to succeed Guardiola and come manage Man City? If he's illustrated that he can prove himself at Bayern Munich and City wants him and he believes that he can do the job, does anyone think that he wouldn't be desperate to do that? To manage the club he loves? Surely he would want to do that. Surely. Surely that's a thing. They've given him an extension. They never do that, do they? They never do that. Philip Lahm with managers over Bayern. Oh dear. Hey, Fabregas is interesting as well, for sure. The whole news is hilarious. Do y'all know he has a contract till 2035 and is the highest paid player in Europe? He also has a personal connection to the club. Like, he is a City fan also. That is key. I'd be concerned about Gavardo as a right back. TBH. He already struggles sometimes defending out wide when he's 1v1 off the left. I'm not going to say I'd take him now because I've got to wait for him to prove himself. But so far, he's not done it. He's not, with the little evidence that I have, there is nothing he has done to make me think that he wouldn't be a very good choice. Because you can say, oh, well, it's just with Bayern Munich. Okay, but he came into a Bayern side that had where Leverkusen had just won the title. So we can't even use every manager wins the Bundesliga with Bayern. Well, no, because he was coming into a Bayern side that had just lost their crown. Now, yes, it's still Bayern in the Bundesliga, and Leverkusen lost a lot of their players, for sure. I'm not saying it's the hardest job in the world, but it wasn't a guarantee. And you got loads of these players coming out saying how happy they are with Kompany, how they're so thrilled with the style of football, how some of them think this could be like one of the best Bayern sides they've ever been in. In the Champions League, he got screwed over with injuries last season. This season, he's been doing great in the league, and he's been doing great in the Champions League. Also, we will be streaming PSG versus Bayern Munich, by the way. Yeah, we will be streaming that game, so big up to Vinny. So he's done everything right so far. It's only a matter of time. That's all we have to do. Just like wait and see. Can he replicate it this season and next season? And of course, he's going to be judged by how he performs in the Champions League. But so far, he's doing lovely, lovely work. So if he can prove himself, why wouldn't I want him at City? He's a manager with a similar offensive strategy to Guardiola. He literally played under Guardiola. He's got a statue outside of our ground. If he can illustrate that he's an expert tactician with Bayern, a top European side, why can't he do that with City? Why can't he do that for us either? It's got to be a dream, hasn't it? Surely. Yeah, they literally live in Manchester, definitely. He sees himself as a Manc also. They just won't come to his beautiful bald head for longer. Random topic idea. Who are these investors in Jurassic Park? At one point he realised it's a bad investment, says Fenway. Yeah, I mean, I did like the second and third films for what they were, but they probably should have, I mean, they could have stopped after the first one, but the Jurassic World series of films, man, I don't really... How many times can you have the plot be the exact same fucking same before it becomes too arbitrary? And I would argue it nearly became too arbitrary after the second one. At least there was a reason for that, for the third one. But seriously, like Jurassic World and all that. Guys, don't go to the island with dinosaurs on it. You're all...
I'm finding it hard to talk. Honest to God, I just can't sum up how good I feel at the moment. I'm just on top of the world.
Oh, that would be gorgeous, wouldn't it? Can you imagine? I think I tweeted about that a year or so ago. That would be gorgeous. Yeah, what's going on? These idiots at Jurassic Park. Oh dear. Yeah, we will be streaming that. I don't even know when that is, but no, I wasn't planning on doing one, Matthew. By now, are they? Wait, are they? Hello? I don't think I've seen Cars 2. Thank you, Ironman. Love that from you. Maybe that wasn't singing, but thank you. My favorite Tarantino film. It might be Reservoir Dogs. That is a fun film. Should I tell you what isn't a fun film? Fucking Pulp Fiction. That film is shit. And I don't care what anyone says. I don't care. You can be as pretentious as you want with that film, saying, oh, well, actually, Nobbins, you just don't understand it. It's shit, okay? I don't like that film. I'm sorry if that's your favourite film. I don't like it. I think it's stinky. Not saying they shouldn't make the movies, but just saying within the movies. No, it's a double whammy, Fenway, isn't it? It's a double whammy. This Sunday, El Clasico, I'll be doing the post-mortem, won't I, on Sunday? And then I'll have to work on the analysis video after it, because I'm going to have less time on the Sunday. I mean, some of the acting's nice. Like, Samuel L. Jackson's good in it. He's a good actor. You know? And, what's his face? Oh my god. What's his name? John Travolta. He's a good actor. That's lovely. But there's so much... Yeah, exactly. It's iconic, and I watched it, and I was expecting to... Because I only saw it, like, last year or the year before. I was expecting to be blown away, because I was like, oh my god, this is regarded as one of the best films ever. Fucking hell, this is gash. This is the most chopped wank I've seen, man. Insanely shit film, man. So pretentious and so up its own arse. Oh, well, actually, the dance scene with Uma Thurman and John Travolta is absolutely... Shut up. Pissing me off, man. The most... God, it angered me. I'm never watching that wank ever again. Swear down. Swear down. Anyway. Oh, we did that at the end of last stream, Abish. Look emotional. I'm frustrated. It's a stinky film. If Pulp's so good, tell me what the storyline is. Oh, well, it's the briefcase with the MacGuffin in it. That's a cop-out as well. I hate that shit, man. I hate that. Oh, well, I was quite vague with it. I want the audience... No, don't be lazy. What is it that everyone's killing each other over? Don't be lazy. It's all in your imagination. No. What is it? Tell me. Don't be lazy. Quentin. Unsubscribe, and that's fair. You know what? I would as well. But, actually, I wouldn't have subscribed in the first place. Right. Okay. Yeah. Again, some good memes from it. But you know, not good enough. Not good enough to make it a good film, I'm afraid. This is a good film. It's just a bit long. Just a little bit long. But it's a good film. DiCaprio's acting is very, very good in it. And it is a good film. Reservoir Dogs is probably my favourite, though. The acting is top class. The casting is unreal. It's a pretty simple plot. It's a bank robbery that goes wrong. It's all about deception. It's good. Nah, see? I knew it, Diallo. I knew it. Actually, you just don't understand it. Nah, it's just shit. It's just shit. Sometimes, a film's just shit. You know what I mean? I hope so. I hope so. You're going to get banned next time, Natanta. You're going to get barred from the channel, yeah? I just don't like that film. There's some films that I have a very strong, visceral, emotional reaction to. And that is one of them, because it was so overhyped. So overhyped. Now, Breaking Bad's good. It's overhyped. It's not the best show ever, but it's good. I do like it. Not seen 7. Not seen 7. The Swansea game is going to be good because Marmouche. I want Marmouche to start that. I want Shirky to start that. I want Lewis to start that. I want Ainori to start that. I want Ake to start that. I want Trafford to start that. We're going to be able to put out a very strong team against Swansea because we need to get these senior players up and running. We need the minutes in the legs of these players. We need to get the minutes in these legs. Oh, no, wait, no. 7 is the one with Brad Pitt, isn't it? Right. This is one of those annoying things where, sadly, I've seen the ending of it. And I know what happens, which is a shame. I've not seen it all the way through. That's one of those, like, you know, where it's like, because I went through a phase of watching, like, loads of garbage Watch Mojo top 10s just because like you get caught in like the Watch Mojo pipeline at one point, like I want to say like 10 years ago or something, and I feel like it was like the top 10 most devastating endings. Number 1, it's 7 with Brad Pitt's performance, and he says what's in, you know, that sort of bullshit. So sadly, I know what happens at the end, and it's quite upsetting, and the ending is a bit sad. I don't like sad endings. I don't like sad endings, in case you couldn't tell. I've heard it's a fantastic film, though. I'm sure I will watch it all the way through. It's just it's not as compelling to watch a film where you know what happens at the end. If it's a very emotionally investing film, a film you have to get very emotionally invested into. Does that make sense? If you know the ending's going to be, like, upsetting, because you know it's going to be stinky at the end. But I'm sure I will watch it one day, but I do know... that is the one I'm thinking of, isn't it? What's in the box? Yeah. Guys, rate the Watch Mojo impression. Marin Moy says, if Foden will go number 8 and Shirky goes 10, do you think about that? Yes, we've touched on that a lot. The Foden should be playing in a slightly deeper area to facilitate Shirky 100%. 100%. That could be a thing. What the hell? Only 2 out of 10. Crazy. Crazy. So a 10 out of 10 then? A 10 out of 10 then? Because that's a Calvin Phillips in his lead seasons, yeah? Disney, Pixar, or DreamWorks. Probably Pixar is the best there, I would say, because they've got The Incredibles, and they have A Bug's Life, and they have like Toy Story, and they have Toy Story 2. Yeah? Crazy. Out of possession, I have Shirky right wing. Foden in the middle. I think it could happen on ball, Sachin. Maybe not off ball, though. DreamWorks is Madagascar. I think Madagascar's only alright, personally. I like it, but it's not a film I'd watch. Bloody ants, man. I love the lore around ants. I love the lore around ants. How, like, they were like, we need to get this fucking ant film out before Disney. True sisters, that upsets me because Goodfellas is my favourite film. That is my favourite film, so that is a bit upsetting, to be honest. I love Goodfellas, man. I love Goodfellas. I love gangster films. I love gangster films and war films. Those are probably and action films. Those are my favourite genres, I would say. I do like Ice Age, in fairness. We'll have another 5 minutes, so we get that clean 90. Any final thoughts, guys? What we saying? What we saying? Oh, Fenway. I'd have it even longer if I could. A movie night stream. What, will we all watch a film? We all do like a little watch along. We go, okay, guys, synchronize the timer. Goodfellas watch along. I think some people overhype it for the wrong reasons, though. So people will go, oh my god, that one scene where they didn't have one cutaway, that was unreal. And it is unreal, but that's not the best bit of the fucking film. The best bit of the film is like just like the acting and the fact it's based on a true story. That's insane. I'm so sorry. I know I just said that gangster films are my favourite. Somehow, I've got to the age I am at, and I've never watched The Godfather. I don't know why. I need to watch it. And I don't know why I've never watched it. Because I feel like I'd love it. I don't know why I've never watched it. Don't know why. There'll be a tactical preview coming out in about 30 minutes, matey, so stay tuned for that. I give my starting lineup in the tactical preview ready, so stay tuned for that. We do have a Discord, Sachin. We do have one. Movie along. Guilty pleasure, as in which a relatively bad film you quite enjoy. I don't know if this is a bad film, but this is a film that's been... I don't know why this one sprang to my mind either. It's a film that's... Because sometimes, on like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes and all that stuff, they're so up their own arse, and sometimes like a film is fun. Like, like Scary Movie 1 and Scary Movie 2. I think that's been panned on like IMDb. Those films are fucking brilliant. Okay? They're like classics. 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I actually don't care. They're classics. Another one is like the original Scooby-Doo. That's a great film with like Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy and what's his face as Shaggy. Those are great films. That's a great film, sorry, Scooby-Doo. So I guess films like that, where where according to like the experts, they're shit. These are the same people that wank off Pulp Fiction, by the way, no doubt. Little rats. Little rats. Actually, Citizen Kane is iconic media. Yeah, well, shut up, mate. Shut up. Big up Buffy. We are on the last season. We've been on the last season for ages. We recently re-got Disney Plus, though. We're watching Angel at the same time. Skip the first 20 minutes, okay. Hold that, Nintendo. Hold that. Straight to the gulag. Favorite SpongeBob character? Probably Plankton. He's so funny. If Nick doesn't play Sunday, why are we not trying Reinders at 6? I don't think that's the game to be trying him at 6, to be honest. I've never watched the Twilight films. Favorite character? I mean, they're all bastards, aren't they? They are all bastards, so I don't even know. Favorite performance is Joe Pesci, but I fucking hate his character. Evil little man. F is for friends who do stuff together. F is for fire. U is for uranium. Bombs. Yeah, you gotta have that. It makes it so... There are certain plot elements that make so much more sense with Angel in it. It's like there's a bit with Buffy where you watch it, and you don't realise it, but Angel's actually got his soul at that point. And you don't know that unless you watch Angel alongside it. So yeah. Tactical preview coming out in 30 minutes or so. Right. And on that note, if you're still here, as after we've been talking about fucking films and stuff for like the past 15 minutes, bless your heart. Thank you so much for entertaining this absolute nonsense. Glad that you have stuck around, though. It goes to show, nonsense still exists in this world. That was nonsense, by the way. Don't misquote me. We are on the road to 33,333 subscribers. We are less than 3,000 away. So if you are new, make sure you are subscribing. Make sure you are liking the video to help get this to other viewers, of course. It clears my football talk. You know what? That's fairs, man. That is fairs. And I've just seen LB is live. Injury update. Pep press conference talk. So I'm going to redirect you here. There, sorry. They're not paying their like rent, hello? No, we basically, I asked for 150. We got close to that, so do make sure you're getting there before that's a thing. I'm going to redirect you to LB now. So make sure to do Nobbins raid. You know the drill. Oh dear. And yes. Thank you so much, Fenway. Yes, it is Papa Nobbins' birthday this weekend. I've got him a cute little card. A little cheesy one, because it's quite cute. He likes cheese, so it makes sense. I've got him like a little Lego keyring, but I've also got him a little podcast from Alan Partridge from the Oast House Season 4, and we've got him Borderlands 4 on PlayStation 5, because, very excitingly, Mother Nobbins is getting him a PS5. That's my other dad, True Citizen. He does live in Greece. This is my other dad who does not live in Greece. He does play South Park, actually. When did you start? Oh, sorry, got a final few questions here. When did you start supporting City, and who inspired you to support them? In my family, you just become a City fan because we've been supporting since around the 60s. So all of my life, since I popped out, essentially. No, Kenboy, no, they don't watch the streams. I tell them to not watch the streams because sometimes I swear, and I don't swear in front of my parents. So I just don't. It's not like they mind. I just don't like it. I don't know why. I just never do it in front of my parents. They do it. Sometimes I just don't like it. Oh. Well, I've already bought it, I'm afraid. So hopefully they can fix it. See if I'm all dead. Jesus. That's not my birthday, but his father Nobbins is this weekend. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to all my beautiful members again. Shout out to Abanab for gifting a membership to Danny Boy. No watch along for Villa, but we will have a post-mortem. This is going to redirect you to LB. Do hashtag Nobbins raids. If we are Manchester based, absolutely, matey. Absolutely, we are. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel and entertaining my nonsense. Goodbye, guys.